Ida Scott Taylor once wrote, "Do not look back and grieve over the past, for it is gone. Do not be troubled about the future, for it has yet to come. Live in the present and make it so beautiful that it will be worth remembering."
Death is never an easy concept to understand.
Losing a son or a brother, a daughter or a sister, a mother or a father. Losing a loved one can have consequences on our health. After such a tragedy, we must learn to cope, and by coping, we go through the 5 stages of grief. Denial, anger, understanding, depression, and acceptance. Denial. With this stage, we may deny the loss. We may withdraw from social contacts. This can last moments or longer. This is critical to our health. What is denial? Denial is a mask to hide feelings or emotions behind. It's acting as if there is no problem to face. What are the consequences?
Anger.
At this stage, the grieving person may become furious at the loved one who created this hurt. They may lash out to the world for letting the tragedy happen. They become angry and blame themselves for letting it happen, even if they couldn't do anything to stop it. What is anger? Anger is a strong emotion. It's a feeling that is oriented towards some real or supposed grievance. What are the consequences? Understanding. At this stage, we start making bargains to try and gain back what we lost. We will start to ask God why, and ask, if I do this, will you take away the loss? At this stage, it is critical to take things slow.
Depression. Depression is a disorder that involves feelings of sadness, lasting for 2 weeks or longer, often accompanied by a loss of interest in life, hopelessness, and decreased energy. At this stage, the grieving person may feel numb, with anger and other feelings hidden underneath. However, not every single person will experience depression after a loss. Unfortunately, about 33% of depressed people also have a depressive illness 1 month after the loss, and 15% are still depressed a year later. What are the consequences? Acceptance. During this stage, the anger, sadness, and mourning have tapered off. The person simply accepts the reality of the loss. If we don't accept our situation, we cannot let go of the conflict, and so we aren't able to take up suggestions we or others might generate to make things better. So how does this take a toll on our health? Let us take a look again at some of the consequences of losing a loved one. Isolation is a health risk associated with denial. It is good to slow down and to reflect upon the life, but we risk believing the inner voices that beat upon us.
Immersing ourselves in fantasies, saying he's just away on a trip or she will be back, is another health effect. This is natural, instinctive, and protective, and it gives us time to grasp reality. We may need professional help if we cannot move on. Uncertainty about how people will accept them, feelings of rejection, and fear of what is ahead are common reasons for withdrawal. Withdrawal allows escape from anxiety-provoking situations, and it provides time to regain strength needed to confront what lies ahead. Health risks associated with anger differentiate between men and women. Women are seen as nurturers and soothers, and are uncomfortable when anger approaches them. They seek other solutions other than confrontation. Unlike women, men experience anger faster because they have a harder time dealing with their emotions. However, this is a normal process. Holding anger in can cause depression. Destructive behavior, especially in teenagers, is common because they don't have as many healthy outlets as adults. Physical outbursts are soon to follow. Outbursts can include tantrums, being rebellious, and screaming. They act out their emotions. This is caused by emotional repression, and this is a red flag to find a support network. What if, and if only, are the sources of bargaining in trying to understand the loss. Guilt is bargaining's companion. The grieving person may feel responsible, and a child during this stage may question if it was their fault. Parents must reassure them that this was not their fault. Living in the past and hoping they will come back can have consequences on our health. With this, we move into depression. Depression is a disease that should not be taken lightly. Crying does not equal depression, but sadness. Negativity and emptiness, along with a meaningless life, equal depression. Teenagers and young adults grieve privately. Some become sexually active to ease loneliness that adults can't provide since dealing with their own grief. Suicidal thoughts take place, and they see it as an escape route since they were so close to the one they lost. They will rejoin their loved one in doing so. This is the time to seek help. In extreme cases, depression may bring symptoms of clinical depression, which can include worthlessness, hopelessness, an inability to enjoy life, and unusual sleep patterns. Age makes no difference. Depressive symptoms should focus on the duration, intensity, and impact on the quality of life. The last stage is the most important. If we don't adapt to the changed situation, we risk repeating the stages again. The challenge that one should integrate is to explain what has happened, find the meaning of it, and in doing this process, one will become fuller than ever before, even when your loved one has died. Suffering has no value. It is the use that we make of suffering through our actions that have value. Healthy grieving results in being able to remember the importance of a loss, but with a newfound sense of peace, rather than searing pain. you.